Do you think they should ban cell phones in schools in America? They're doing it in the UK now.
Banning cell phones? No, I don't.
And why would you say keep them in the classrooms?
I think if the kids have them in their book bags and they're in off, that they should be allowed to have them. But if an emergency happens, sometimes that's the only way that parents and kids can speak to each other. And there's been like situations where schools have been locked down for hours and hours and hours. And thank goodness some of those kids in those classrooms had cell phones.
Well, the UK has banned using phones in classrooms. Now, I don't know if the kids don't have any access to their phones or what the situation is. Maybe when they walk into the class, they would have to hand them over, and then on their way out, they can grab them. Maybe that starts the day. Maybe they're not allowed at all. But I just saw that they were banning the phones. Now, here are the arguments that they have. And the numbers are kind of crazy when you look at this sample size. Over 3,000 U.S. students were surveyed, and they found that 97% of kids in the U.S. use their phone at school. It's mainly to check social media. Now, listen to the numbers, and I know a lot of teachers are saying they provide such a distraction that it is hard to ever get a student's attention here in America. They say most teens check their phones 100 times a day. Some check as many as 500 times in a day. They say more than 50% of kids get 237 notifications per day, while some get as many as 4,500 notifications every day. So their phone is constantly blowing up and trying to grab their attention as they're sitting in a class to learn.
Wow. I always just turn notifications off for everything. But
I do
yet,
too.
if you have all your apps on Notify Me, think about how these kids use Snapchat.
That's it. They say it's Snapchat and TikTok primarily is where the notifications are coming from. So all their friends are sending messages, posting up videos from their classrooms. They want to find out what's going on. So they're constantly being bombarded with that. And I see my son, he has his phone and there's a lot of stuff that'll pop up.
His notifications are all on.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I've seen his phone and they get him, and I have seen where there's often videos or photos that are taken and shared from inside classrooms of what's going on. It's the social media thing where they want to know if something goofy happens in a class. Everybody wants to know about it.
This might be something that we need to talk to our kids about, turning notifications off and setting aside just like specific times to go look at social media. Because if your phone is constantly notifying you to pick it up and look at it, you're not in life, baby. You're in phone.
Sorry, Mom. What did you say? I was on TikTok.
I didn't hear a word you just said.
I don't have notifications on for anything. The only stupid app that I get notified by is TMZ. And a lot of times they will tell me that somebody's died long before anybody else. They get it first.
Yeah, but you're old. Of course you're not getting notifications. And the only thing you care about is people dying.
Yeah. They want to get these notifications. They're not annoying to them. This is how they stay up on everything that happens exactly when it happens, is they get a notification. Those numbers are pretty bad.
Those numbers are terrible.
And if that is truly the case, out of a sample size of 3,000 students, I don't know how you could ever teach a kid with a phone in an American school. I think it would be next to impossible.
It's tough, man.
I think that is really tough. And I think it needs to be addressed. I understand the concerns you laid out initially, Virginia. I think those concerns are typically things that happen in rare circumstances, and I can't believe we can't come up with a workaround so that kids just don't freely have their phone in a class while they're trying to learn and it's blowing up with notifications.
Oh, there's so many of those videos on YouTube where there's a kid secretly filming the teacher and the other kid's trying to purposely annoy the teacher so they can get a reaction and get the teacher to have a meltdown and snap so they can post it on social media.
Did you see the one that was trending over the weekend? These two girls were fighting and the teacher was trying to break them up, and one of the students grabbed a metal chair and threw it at the teacher, knocked her out cold, but a student was videoing the whole thing.
Yeah, that ain't cool.
But thank goodness the student was videoing, because now that evidence is going to be used against that student. It's not going to be The student can't get away with this. I mean, it is blatant what she did. Chucked the chair from above her head, threw it like this.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. That video is absolutely insane. I mean, there's just one after another of all the thing that's going on.
Is that teacher okay?
She was released from the hospital, but no, I don't think she's okay, actually. She's probably pretty messed up.
I'm sure you're not enthused to go teach whatever you're teaching on the next day.
Right?
Some comments that people were texting into us right now, 877-979-WRMF. One parent says, if I text my kid at school, he will always immediately respond, and then I yell at him for being on his phone at school. Another person said, my kid's schools has a ban on cell phones. Palm Point and Tradition in Port St. Lucie. My kids were so excited to bring their cell phones for the first time this school year. And when they got hit with the news, they were all devastated. So some schools have already started that. And honestly, I don't blame them.
No, I don't either.
Yeah, I mean, if that's how much the notifications are going off, it's just, there's no way you can ever get anything accomplished.
Yeah, I would think that's kind of crazy as well. And one person had said that there is actually a huge safety concern for a kid to be texting during a lockdown if they have something going on, because they can get information out. Sometimes parents are then posting that on Facebook, and it can compromise the safety of everybody in the school. So they said that sometimes a person might actually use that to their benefit if they have nefarious means that they might expect it to get out and use social media against them. So, yeah, I would not be surprised with those numbers. And I assume educators are seeing those kind of things and they're realizing how serious it is. That I think in America, something needs to be done where kids do not have access while they're just kind of hanging out in school.